All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We're recording, and I want to sincerely apologize for the lateness, and equally want to welcome everybody to this important meeting where we are going to be looking at use cases and the use case diagram. Okay, following a sequence of what we are doing, last night we created a product backlog as one of the uh, deliverables in planning stage of a project, more especially digital digital project or software implementation project. So we started with product backlog. And in this stage, you can equally call it outside planning, you can call it solution design. Because at this stage, more what we are going to be doing will be more of designing a solution. And some people do not understand what design. You think that designing is like the way you design clothes. You see the same thing. You're trying to, create the technical design. And technical design is by these technical languages. Some of them are going to be technical drawing like UML and the rest. So in this regard, we need to understand use cases. Use cases means how users are going to be using these softwares. Yesterday, we talk about user stories. User stories is understanding some of the features from the user's perspective. But in use cases, authoritatively, we've understand how users are going to use some of these features. Now we are going to talk authoritatively about these features. We are going to tell stakeholders, we are going to tell developers how users are going to use by what we call use cases. We are going to make a case on each of these by talking about how they are going to be used and who are going to use them and how they are going to use them, more especially trying to identify actors that are going to be using every feature of that particular software. Every software you are going to implement, part of the design, you must be able to identify all the actors that are going to use that particular software or that particular, every feature you need to talk about them. So that is what you are going to be doing. We'll talk about them. We are going to create a diagram. We are not just going to end in talking about them. We are going to equally create a small diagram, because most of the things we are going to be doing as a business analyst, we need to talk with diagrams. Just like if you go to data analysis, you see them, they talk with SQL, that is their language, some of their language, they use SQL, they use syntax. If you go to developers, they are programmers, they have programming languages where they have different code. We, the business analysts, have said this before, our own language is UML, Unified Modeling Language, modeling. That is our language, we model everything we do, and that is by diagram, creating a diagram to represent the story we are telling. We tell stories with diagrams. So these are what we are going to do here. That is use cases and use case diagram. When we talk about a use case, we create a diagram to represent them. So if we finish on time, we talk about the use cases, and then we'll have small exercise where we are going to be drawing the diagram. But if we finish on time, we'll draw the diagram. If we didn't finish on time, we'll move the diagram to the next session. So, okay, so let's look at the lesson notes, and we'll have a lot of templates and actions we're going to flow on. Okay, a moment, my screen will be popping up very soon. So who is saying, I'll go Cynthia, you say you're not seeing me. I'm here. But maybe you need, I'm here and I'm very visible, and my network is stable. So hope you can see my screen now. My screen is equally showing. All right. So what is this use case diagram? What is use case? Let's start from use case. A use case is a detailed description of how that user, in our technical language, we call it actor. How actor interact with a system. So to achieve a specific goal. Use cases define functional requirements. So it's functional requirements. We know we have functional and non-functional requirements. What we are going to be talking about, functional requirements. We want to see how they are going to be interacting with the system visually. Like here we have outlining steps, actions, and condition, expected results of any interactions. So this is going to be like, for instance, I normally use this Google Doc. We talk about how am I going to be using it? Who are going to be using this Google Doc? And how are they going to be using it? So that's what we're going to be trying to understand. Like, for instance, if we are talking about Dynamics 365 CRM, we talk about who are going to be using it and what are they going to be using it for. So the way they are going to be using it, every action they are going to use it is called a use case. For instance, when we are talking about lead management in a CRM, somebody needs to create a lead. Creating a lead, who is going to create this lead? Somebody needs to assign that lead. Who is going to assign that lead? Somebody needs to follow up a lead. Who is going to follow that lead? With this, we know who are going to use this. That's why you need to understand the users very well. They are stakeholders. You need to understand them and understand the way they are going. If you do not understand them, you are not going to understand the way they are going to use it. This will help us to maximize the benefit of how we are going to use this. When you create this use case diagram, what you are trying to show the stakeholders is the return on that investment virtually. You tell them that you see an actor, a sales rep is going to use it to do this, is going to use this to do this. You state, like, if you state 20 use cases, that is 20 return on investment. That is how they are going to be using it, meaning that it's serving the purpose. When you develop, you create a system and you find out it's only maybe one use case or two, it doesn't, they are not, it's not bringing any value. Nobody is using it. You need to show how they are using this. When you demonstrate this, you see so many arrows, how people are using it. It makes them very happy. When you have a very complex use case diagram, arrow flying from different angles, it means that there is, you know, this is a very big operation. And this is what the stakeholders want. They are happy they are seeing a very complex use case diagram. So that is it, interacting with the system. The use case diagram is a visual representation of system functionalities showing how different users interact with the various processes within the system. It helps in understanding the system behavior and serve as a foundation for further system design. Like I told you people that what we are doing is solution design. Components of a use case. In a use case, we have an actor, we have use cases, we have system boundaries, we have relationships. And within relationship, we have association, we have include and exclude. So an actor is an entity. It can be a user. It can be a human being. It can be another system interacting with that system. So is any external entity interacting with that system? That's what we call actor. For instance, if we have an e-commerce system and we have PayPal integrated with that, we have a Flutterwave integrated, we have Paystack integrated. These are different payment gateways. So when people want to make payments, you see we make payment through these payment processors. You see that the payment processors, they are getting information from the system, they are returning information, so they are interacting with the system. They are called actors as well. It's not only the human beings. So these are all the things you need to understand, every bit of that system, how they are interacting with external bodies. Then use cases, specific tasks or goals that users perform. These are use cases. Like I said already when I was doing the introduction, I said in lead management, lead creation, lead assignment, these are specific tasks. Who are performing that task? And equally, I said in a CRM system, processing payment, add to cart, checkout. When you are checking out, automatically it will transfer you to payment processor, and the payment processor will process the payment and come back to you, return back to you and tell you that payments successful. If the payment is not successful, if declined, will come back and tell you declined, that the customer does not have enough money. So they go there to check for you and come back to report it. So you see the way they are doing their work, they are equally called actors. If we don't have them integrated, maybe a human being would have been doing that job. Also, every other entity interacting with that system, is called actor. And the task, whatever task they are performing, is called use case. And then we have system boundary, defining the business scope of the system being model. You must have a boundary. What are the boundary? Like now I've said that this is lead management. We discuss is a lead management process. So this is the boundary operation we want to use this system for lead management. And we have relationships, connections between actors and users, showing how they interact. This is what we call relationships. So we have association. These are links between actors and the use cases. We have include, indicate a use case that is always included within another use case. Extend means represent optional behavior based on specific conditions. So when a use case is performing and you find out that during lead creation, after lead, the next thing is maybe lead assignment. You see the relationship from lead creation to lead assign is they have relationship, they associate. They always, these two goes together, always included. And then we have extension. There are some things they can do that can be optional. It's not always there. It's not always included. It can be included or not. So these are optional. So call them extend. They can extend some functionalities. We have this table here represent a use cases for Dynamics 365 CRM sales. And here we have a lot of use cases here, up to 14 use cases captured in this table. And okay, here we have every use case. If you want to create a use case, every use case must have a unique identifier. So that is a unique ID, then the use case, and then you have the actor, and you have the description. So if you want to create a use case document or table, whichever way, but the best practice is like this, in a table, every with different columns describing actors with their use cases and what they do. So you might be saying, from a product backlog to another table, yes. So we business analysts will have a lot to do. So you see that use case one, lead creation. Okay, this use case table for Dynamics 365 CRM sales. And to create the boundary, because there's a lot to create the boundary here, sales, you see lead management. Because when you say CRM system is so broad, what you can do with CRM is massive. Okay. Under this, you see Lead creation, the actor here is sales rep and a system itself. And then we have the description here. The sales reps enter a new lead into the system. The system captures the lead details. And then we have another use case, lead qualification. Sales rep is the actor as well. And the system, the sales rep assess lead and move it into a qualified status or disqualify status. Then we have opportunity creation. Sales rep as well. Upon lead qualification, an opportunity is created and linked to a customer. It's now a customer. And then contact management. Sales rep and sales representative. The sales rep add or update contact details of a potential or existing customer. Account management. Sales manager. So we can see now we've moved from sales rep to sales manager. Account management, sales manager, and sales rep. So create and manage company's account and link to opportunities. Sales pipeline tracking. Sales manager, sales rep. Track the status of deals and forecast sales performance. Quotes generation. Sales, so if I start mentioning all of them, we are going to have these notes. You read it up because we are going to create a use case for this. Part of the thing we are going to do. And yeah, so we have these use cases, even invoice generation, activity tracking, reports and dashboard, and customer interaction login, track appointment scheduling, and workflow automation. These are all these with their respective actors and their descriptions. Okay, let's look at the relationships. See here, we have capture relationship here. You see lead creation and lead qualification. They have relationship. A lead must be created before it gets qualified. Another relationship, lead qualification and opportunity creation. Only qualified lead can be converted into opportunity. Opportunity creation and quote generation. Opportunities can lead to generating a quote, and so on and so forth. All of them are here. You read them up and see how by the time we are creating it, it's going to help us to be linking. So if you understand all these few examples I've given, you can do the rest. So we have this relationship between the actors. So this is relationships between use cases. And this is relationship with actors. Here you see sales representative. You see all the related activities. lead creation, lead qualification, opportunity creation, contact management, sales pipeline tracking, quote generation, order processing, activity tracking, customer interaction, and track tasks and appointments. So this is what the sales rep does. And the sales manager, this is what the sales manager does as well. And then we'll have another actor, finance team or accountant. This is what the person does as well. And the system itself does this. These are work, some of the use cases the system itself perform. So these are all the actors and their different use cases. So you see, this is part of the solution design. You are breaking it down technically for everybody to understand how this system is going to be used. By the time you finish this, when you close your eyes, you can talk about a system that you design. That's why you call business analyst a software engineer, because you see, as you are doing this, you're already designing the system, how they are going to be used. So when the developers are making mistakes, you can tell them, this is not what I want. I told you that this are going to be that the sales rep is going to be performing these activities in this, and I've not seen you configure this opportunity creation. You just, I want to see pipeline tracking as well. So you know what you want. So some of us think that the developers develop for us or they teach us. No, we teach developers what they do. That's the way it should be. You design a system, you give it to them, and you tell them what you want them to do. It's just like in building building a house. As a building engineer, you do not lift a block. You are not going to lift a brush to paint the house. You are not going to lift, drill any hole as a plumber or this. But you are there directing them what to do. If they don't paint the house, you know the level of this you want. Before a mixed cement, you know the amount of sand you want to see. If they are mixing one bag of cement with 3 headpans of sand, and you want 1 bag of cement and 2 headpans of sand, you say no, this is not. So it's the same thing in software development. So you must understand all this bit by bit before you start meeting the developers, to tell them what you want and monitor them do it. And as they do it, you test it. If it doesn't meet your standard, you say no. So that is it. Okay. So this is the use cases. We'll have all the actors here. Now we'll have all the actors. We'll have sales sales rep, sales manager, finance manager, and system. These are the actors, and these are the use cases. So we've seen the elaborated use cases and their connections. So at the end, this is what is expected of you. This is just a simple diagram, a simple use case diagram like this. So when you see a very complex use case diagram, you see arrows flying this and this way, and this is what you mean. Like you see here, you see sales rep. Looking at it visually, you see all the activities here. You see, from here to here to here to here, these are all the things they are doing. And you see the system, what the system is doing, linking, the finance person, you see. So you can see that with this, in sales and marketing department, if you as Madam Mary Akano, what is happening here? You want to just showcase yourself, Abi? All right. So this is the kind of diagram we are going to be creating, and we are going to need a Visio or draw.io to do this. We have been using draw.io and Visio, so I don't think this is going to be a big operation for us. It's going to be a very minor operation because we've done some drawing before. So how many of us here cannot use draw.io or Visio or Lucidchart at this point? If you cannot, you raise your hand. Okay, that's very good. All of us can use it. So we have still have time, have like 10 minutes. Can we do this drawing in 10 minutes? I don't think we can do it in 10 minutes, but if you guys permit me, we can do it, but it's going to last beyond the time. Are we in agreement? Are we doing it next class?
Try. Yeah, let's try it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Proceed to draw.io, and I'm going to be working from this, and yeah. So I'll open up my draw.io and so it's loading. Okay. We already know how it works. You can create a new diagram or open the existing one, because this is first time we are doing this use case diagram. So let's just get a fresh canvas. So can give the title here and see B365. That is Dynamics 365 CRM. Use case CRM sales. Let me just says use case, use cases, or use case diagram. And then we've given the So we've given the title, and we can choose from any of these templates, but we want to start with a fresh canvas. So we choose this, we create it here, and we say we're saving it. We are saving it on our drive. Anywhere you want to save it. If you want to save it on your laptop, you can click on drop down here, select anywhere you want to save it. You can anywhere, you can even say download, whichever way. These are different places, but I want my own on my Google Drive. If you want on your device, that is your laptop, you select this one, and then we click save, and the canvas will open up for us to use. So we have a canvas here. So, and all these things we're going to do, you see all these libraries, they contain all these. So if we talk about use cases like UML, Unified Modern Language, you should have libraries for all these. So like this is UML, all these things. So I don't know, for me, I don't go to library by library to start checking. What I'll do is I use search. So now the first thing we need is a container that is going to represent the system. And I'll type container here. Let's see. So here you see we have containers, different types of containers we can use for this. You see a container, this is another container, and this is another container. This is horizontal container, this is a vertical container, this is plain container, and these are different containers. So I'll just go for this vertical container, and that's it. I will scale it. It's highly scalable, you know, so I will scale it up and drag it up a bit, and then yeah, so we can just leave it this way, and think it's too wide. I'll scale it down a bit, so I'll position it in the center so we can have spaces for the actors that will be interacting. And we come here, we name the container. I will rename it. Here you have vertical container. I will call it the system name, call it the D365 CRM system. So this is the system. We're going to be talking about how different actors are going to be interacting with this system. We've got the system here already. The next thing we're going to do is to start getting the use cases and various actors. Let's start by the use cases. So, we can just type use cases. Use cases and search. Okay, we can see we have, this is a use case. Let's just type use case and search again. So you can get different options. So, and let's separate it and type again. Now we'll have more options. So you see, we have a use case here. We have another use case here. We have another use case here. And so let's use this one and have a use case here. And we're going to be needing so many use cases. You can be dragging here. You can be dragging use cases here to here, but you can equally duplicate as many as you want, which I'm going to do here. I'll duplicate this, duplicate again, and again, and again. And I'll start dragging them down. Now, I might still need more use cases. So let's just get started. So all right. Okay. Let's get some actors, actor in the system. So we use hanging man. Hanging man is what we use to represent the actors, and we already have a hanging man here. We are going to bring this hanging man called, you see, the name here is actor. So let's duplicate the actors, like have like 4 of them for now. I think because we have one should come over here and another one should come over here. Another one should come over here, and we'll bring another one here. So that's the actors we have here. Yeah. Okay. Now we've said this is what we call just lay the foundation, set the kind of scaffold to start bringing in or renaming our. So this is just a template. So I'm going to look at my documents to start bringing in use cases. So here I have use cases. We have lead creation is number 1 use case. We go here, lead creation, copy it. Come here. So drop it here. I'll go back. So now to start, I have to bring all this, and I'll grab it as well. Come back, drop, go back, and grab as many as I can. Keep dropping it. So these use cases here, put this one here, and put this one here. Um, Yeah. So, like I said, this is not mathematics. So you use your number 6 to decide how to arrange your work to look good, just like I'm arranging it. I'll come back again and grab more use cases. Contact management. Drop this as well. Then sales pipeline. And come here and drop it. Well, I'm bringing this so that when I'm going to be shooting my arrows, so that it will be flowing very well. So, and then we'll have more here. So I will grab one from here. So that I have some work for this. You know, I'm not going to be creating the whole use cases. So when you are going to create it, you have to crack some brain. Okay. And I'll grab this. All right. There's an error. And come here, grab another one, put it here. And then I'll grab another one called invoice generation. I'll come back here. I'll come and grab another use case container and then drop it here. Now I need to start bringing the relationship. So first, let's name this actors. This. give it sales rep. And this sales manager. This finance officer. And this is them. All right. All right. So the next thing here, let's bring a relationship, and we're going to use this communication part. We have include here, we have extend here. So I'm going to grab this communication part, and that's what I'm going to be using. And okay, then can double click to duplicate it, and I'll connect it to this lead qualification, and this we duplicate as well. And again, and then I move down to this man. Um, all right. Just do small painting. Yep. And see my use cases here. You can see how everybody is working here using performing different tasks. So if I have layer this, I can scale this. If I have this and make it to grow down, you see here this container is very, I can increase the container, bring more use cases, and yeah. Or I'm going to leave it like this. The rest of the work is left for you to do. And that's it. This is a simple use case diagram created here. And everything I've spoken here, all the stories I told you here, if you are the type of a manager or line manager or stakeholder that don't want so much stories, I've equally showed it in a diagram. So that's it, what I've created here. So, and if you learn how to do this, when you see a very complex, like if you happen to be working and they ask you to capture the whole e-commerce operation with their use cases, like now I can tell us to capture the use cases, create a use case diagram for Better Marketplace. You see, we have a very large operation in Better Marketplace. This is the way you capture it and you show it like this, and everybody will see what is going on in a very big diagram. So, and I need to show this on my report for my line managers or stakeholders. I'll come here. We already know how to export in PNG. Come over here, export, and I want to download it. I'm not gonna say because I want to use it right now. I'll just click on download and click OK, and should be able to download, and it's downloaded already. And I'll come back here to my lesson notes, and I'll come here and I'll bring it in here. I'll start as image, load from my system, and boom, it's here. And that's it. You see, after you are so much blah, 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 you should be manage to match your action with diagram. And that's it. So that's what is expected of you as a BA. You don't just talk. When you talk, you do the working. Not so. All right. It's very simple operation. The main thing is for you to learn how to use these tools to do this thing. When you can play around, if you want to help us, you can even help us with create a use case diagram for the whole Better Marketplace operation, and we'll say thank you. And you can add it on your portfolio, part of the things you've achieved. All right, and here I've added like 30 minutes to your time, and sorry about that. All right, if you have any question, I'm all for you. All right, thank you, everyone. I would have said create this use case diagram for me as an assignment, but there is no need because you already have a project you are working on. You have to create it on your projects. So that will be one of your project deliverable. Make sure it's there for your deliverable. Everybody, you should do it. And all right. See you guys. And next week, within the week, I want to be following. I will be following up on. I'll go to Bootcamp, Freed Camp, to check what you guys are doing. If you guys have started work, if I don't see any work on Freed Camp, you've not started. You can't tell me you'll be having meetings. We have a project collaborative environment. You call it. It's meant for project tracking. What is tracking? Monitoring what you are doing. And if I go there and I don't see anything, there's nothing to talk about. So it's meant there for tracking. You know, the stakeholders, they want to see what you are doing. They go there to monitor what you are doing. That's why they have access. So you guys are not doing anything yet. Go there and do some work. Wake up. All right. So good night and enjoy your weekend.
All right. Good night, Mr. Charles. Thank you for the
Oh,
class.
is it weekend already?
Good night.
Yes, it
No,
can.
no, Philip, enjoy your weekdays.
No, week is just starting.
Yeah.
I will
Good
check
night.
my calendar.
All right.
Good night, Mr. Charles.
Good night, Mr. Charles. I love your class.
Thank you, sir.
I love your
well.